Good morning. I've just had my exercise and I thought I'd come into the kitchen and show you this cauliflower recipe that everybody's wanting. It's a sticky sesame cauliflower thingy and it's really delightful, so I'm going to make it this morning. Okay, so get your ingredients ready first. They'll be at the end of this video, so you'll have to watch it first or nick to the back and get it. This is besan flour, chickpea flour otherwise. We just want to put a pinch of salt in there, and we want to mix the water in with it. So what I've done is, with this recipe, I'm making a quarter of the recipe for myself because it's just me, but you'll be using a whole half a cauliflower, and that will serve 2 adults and a few children. You make it with rice, and yeah, so that's quite yummy there. It looks quite thick. We want it to be fairly thick. I might just add a little touch more water. You don't want it really runny. You want it, whoops, fairly thick so it sticks to your cauliflower. And that's starting to look really lovely. So you want it to be pretty smooth. Now the next thing is I've got the flour, which I use a gluten-free flour, so that our tummies are really happy. And I think I put a little pinch of salt in there as well. And some pepper. I like a lot of pepper. So we're just going to go crazy with that. It's supposed to be white pepper, but I've put black pepper in. Sorry about that. I don't really have anything else. And I've used fresh garlic, which I've actually used my little thingy for, and I'm going to pop that in as well. That's okay, it'll all mix up in there. You're supposed to use the powdered one, but it's just really for flavouring, so I'm just going to make sure that all gets down to the bottom. Mix it all through. Of course the powder would mix a little bit better than this. Next step, so we've got a cast iron pot and it heats really well in the oven. I want to turn the oven on to 450 degrees Fahrenheit or 230 I think it is, Celsius, which is your general oven. And we just want to whack some oil in there. It's supposed to be sesame seed oil, but I still don't have any because we're on lockdown and I don't want to go out yet just for the sesame oil, but I've used the plain olive oil and that seems to work okay. So now we want to dip the florets into the besan mixture, coating it nicely. And we're going to get a little bit messy here, of course, so don't you worry about that. Get that in and then into the bag and give it a shake, and that'll come out looking like that, which is really pretty. And we're just going to put that into the oil like so, and continue to do the others, and we want them all to be coated, and when they're done we'll put them in the oven. I've also got some little broccoli florets and I'm going to do a couple of those just to see what they're like, because I can. In they go. Shake the bag up really nicely. Get them out. It saves you getting messy. It does say in the recipe to put it in a bowl, but I find that if it's in a bag, it'll shake up really well and they come out looking, oh, there's the broccoli. They come out looking really lovely and coated. So we'll do a few more. Dun, 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 dun. It's quite relaxing really, just getting messy. It's kind of like making mud pies. La 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 la. Okay, so in we go with that. Now I've got that tune in my head. Right, so that's the messy part over and done with really. And just give them a little shake off so that you haven't got bloops of that flour on. Alright, that looks lovely. So I'll just show you what that looks like in the pan, and I'm just going to wash my hands and we're just going to spray it. Now again, this is supposed to be the sesame seed oil, but I don't have any, so we're going in with just the plain old olive oil. But we just want to put that on the top of them. You can baste it with a baster. We will put this in the oven and see how we go. So at the moment we have all the other ingredients here, and we want to make a sauce. So I might put that together now, and then later on we'll come back and we'll cook it up. So we want to, in a pan, that's right, grab this pan here, and we want to put a little bit of oil in first, and that should be sesame seed oil as well. Whack a good amount in there. We just want to grate some ginger and the garlic up. I probably don't need too much of that. Ginger. Yummy. Beautiful. Woohoo, that smells lovely. And so that's our first ingredient, and that needs to just be warmed through on the heat. So I'll come back to that in a minute. And in the meantime, go and do some exercise. Have some wall exercise or some Zumba, and we can do that easily. Set the alarm. Okay. Okay. We want 10 minutes there, start, and there we go. Be back soon. I've got some lovely asparagus that I grew this morning. Oh, I didn't grow it this morning, but it grew overnight, and probably the day before as well to get this big. Okay, alarm, turn that off. And I'm going to cut some of that up and have it with this meal. So I'll put that there, and that's the 10 minutes, so the time's up to take that out. So I'll just grab that. Woohoo! Oh, it's hot. You can hear it sizzling. And there it is. So we're going to turn them over. I put a little bit of extra oil in cooking them today, so what I'll do is just leave that, but sometimes I'll give them a spray. If I think they need a little bit of spray, I'll put some on, but they're actually fine today. And back into the oven for another 10 minutes. And don't forget to turn the alarm on. Just chop these up and prepare them. Nice. It's yummy, doesn't it? So I'll probably just brown them off on the oven. Pop the griller on, and I'll just put these in under the grill while we're doing this. So, leave them there. We're back to the sauce. Now I'm using this hot plate so you can see it. And just on a medium heat. We don't want anything too hot because we don't want it to boil. We just want it to come to a simmer and to be really lovely and fragrant. We don't want it to burn because I've done it before and it is like tar, believe me. So you don't want that to happen. So we cook this off for a minute or two. When it becomes really fragrant, we can smell it and we can tell that it's cooking. So in the meantime, you can just hang about, maybe some samba. Hang on, that's not right. Oh, that's coming up now. Yes, it's bubbling. That's good. That's what we want. We just want it to bubble. I'll just turn it down now to a simmer because we don't want that to burn. And that's becoming lovely and fragrant. It's really nice. So we're going to pop in the soy sauce first. And then we got the sweet chili sauce. And we'll pop that in now. And each time it'll just come back up to the heat. Just give that a stir in. That's a little bit too hot. Turn it down again. Lovely. What's that alarm for? Oh, ignore that one. That's a fake one, that one. That's just to remind you to do something else. Okay, in with the maple syrup. Yum. And the rice wine vinegar, which is in the cups. Now that's starting to bubble. We don't want it to bubble too much, so I'm taking it off the heat. This old stove is ancient and I think the hot plate doesn't work really well. The thermostat's probably gone again. Alright, so here we go. That's cooking off nicely and it smells really lovely. So we don't want that to be a hot boil. We want it to be a simmer. And we'll just cook this off for about 5 minutes. And I would suggest you keep an eye on it because it can overcook and when it becomes too sticky, you'll have a real mess. Could probably glue some shoes up with it because it's so sticky and black. Oh my gosh. Anyway. So this is really good. Just let it simmer away there. Keep your eye on it. Now what I've been doing in my time away when we're not doing anything is just washing up. So you can clean up around you while you're waiting for everything to cook. Make sure you don't really take your eyes off the sauce. And you can smell it. It smells really lovely. So I think I might just turn this off for a bit. That's been about 5 minutes and we'll come back in another 5 minutes and see how things are going. Keep your eye on the asparagus, of course. I'll just check that. Oops, here we go. Time to have a look. Everything smells like it's cooking well. Oh yes, they're doing really well in here. Okay, I'll turn that off. They're done. Take them out. I think that one might be a little bit overdone. Oh, look at it, poor thing. That happens, doesn't it? Okay, so we're going to get out the cauliflowerettes and have a look at those. And they're looking really, really yummy. You can see now the brown is getting on them and they're getting really, really yummy looking. So we got one last piece of this recipe and that is to let them get in this gooey mess. So what I do is just dunk them in. I don't know an easier way of doing it. If you come across it, let me know. But I'm just going to do that. Dunk them in. Look at that. Dunk them in. Pop them back in. You can pop a few in at a time. Let them roll over in that lovely little sauce. And you can put as much or as little on as you like. It does thicken up nicely if you let it go. The longer you cook it for, it thickens up. So I'm going to pop that in there. Just whack some more of these in here. Flip them all about. Do the hokey pokey and turn around. And that's what it's all about. Okay, and just drizzle it over the top nicely, and that will just cover the ones that are sitting in there a little bit better. And you want to keep a little bit of this sauce for dressing at the end. So I'm just going to use a little bit now in here because this will heat up and become really lovely and sticky on the actual cauliflower. So there we go. And how does that look? Back in. And another 5 minutes. So while we're waiting, we'll just cook the rice up and that'll all be good then. Have a break. Have an apple. Morning tea time. So an apple, oops, maybe a drink of water. Just get enjoying this moment while you're doing this. It really only takes about 25 minutes to do the cooking part, but it does take a good 10 or 15 minutes to get the preparation of all the other ingredients together. But I know you'll enjoy it once you've made it, and each time it gets easier and easier because you'll have all the ingredients in the house, and the kids are going to love it if you've got children. Right, they're done. Okay, so that's an extra 5 minutes. This is something I prepared earlier, and I've just got my little bowl of rice and my asparagus. I've got a little bit of garnish there, not much, but it's onion, what do they call it, spring onion. Okay, here we have it. It's sizzling away. Okay, we're just going to pop that on the plate. Just enough for one serve at the moment. Where's some of that broccoli? Is that broccoli? Oh, how do I tell it's broccoli now? It's all covered. Nah, I think that's broccoli. Anyway, we'll pop one of them on. On you get. Okay. And a little one there. And there it is. We'll just pop a little bit of garnish on the top. And some more of that sauce. Really doesn't need it, but if we're having rice, it might be nice to just have a little bit more on the top there. It's all lovely and sticky and yummy. Woohoo! Okay, and enjoy. Did I leave anything out? I generally do, so it's unusual for me not to. Oh, one more thing I forgot, the sesame seeds. So we'll just put some sesame seeds on top. Just move this out of the way here, put it back on there. Okay, so now that's ready. I knew I'd forget something. Bon appetit! And I'd suggest you wait a little bit. If you've got a family, by the time it gets to the table, it'll be cooled down enough. But this is really, really hot, and we don't want you burning yourself, so have a little taste. I think this is the broccoli. Just interested to see how that goes. So yeah, the broccoli works really well too. I imagine most vegetables would. But anyway, keep that in mind for next time. Mix it up, and the kids might not even realise they're having broccoli. Don't forget to like my videos and also subscribe. And that way, when another video comes out, it'll automatically let you know. And I'll just put these other ones back in here. The leftovers, don't go like that, because that will burn the roof of your mouth and you'll wish you hadn't. Anyway, so the thing with making it gluten-free is that you don't feel sick in the tummy half an hour later. You know, when you eat wheat or anything like that, you feel bloated and you feel full and you feel quite sick. Whereas with this one, you don't have any problem with all that. So all you people who have a little bit of a reaction to wheat, or you're just trying to stay away from wheat and eat the gluten-free, there's no difference really. It just means that it hasn't got the gluten in it. Okay, well, see you. It's just beautiful. And that asparagus just grilled lightly like that is just really delicious. Anyway, give it a try, and how about you share a recipe with me too?